To do is adjust your seat this way. If your legs are like that, you're too low in the seat. If you're like that, you're too high in the seat. Okay? I want your legs straight out, feet flat on the ground, and then your seat's good as far as this way. And then adjust your seat forward if need be. And if you're clutching to the floor and it's comfortable, you're too close. You really have to stretch out for it, because if you're comfortable, what's going to happen with the clutch? You're going to hit the floor with every single clutch and it's going to grind on you, right? Yeah. So you want to have to stretch out, your knees straight and your toes extended, okay? So, and then you got the wheel adjustment also. Telescopes, goes up and down, just don't block the gauges like that. So right about there is good for me, okay? We're going to do a full complete brake test and pre-trip. We're going to start with the brake test. And we're going to pretend that this is test day, okay? If you're the examiner, they're going to want 3 things from you. What do they want from you? 3 documents. The same thing that we want from you before you leave the road.
Your learner's permit.
Yep.
Your driver's license.
What else?
And your DOT med certificate.
Signed medical cert, right? You got to have all 3. I would take a picture of a screenshot of your medical cert, just in case you leave it at home or it gets misplaced. They'll accept a screenshot. Okay.
Are you going to need that every time you drive too?
Yeah.
As well.
Yep. So, examiner. I'm going to start my brake test. Before I start my brake test, I'm going to, I can't start my brake test until I'm below 90 PSI, and I'm currently at 125 PSI. So I'm on accessory to the right. I'm going to bleed it down. That's what I want you guys to do. Get it down to 75 PSI, top dead center of those gauges, okay, and call it good. Is that below 90?
Yes.
That's all you need to do. So I'm at 75 PSI in tank 1, primary, 75 PSI in tank 2, my secondary tank, so I'm below 90. At this point, I'm going to do my safety start. Clutch goes in, wiggle, wiggle, splitter down. Let me back up real quick. There's 4 positions to this key. All the way to the left is accessory left. Position 2 is off. You can take the key out. Position 3 is accessory right, and you get all the bells and whistles, okay? And then position 4 is actually starting the truck. So I'm going to start it up, but before I do, I'm going to show you the ABS and left and def light. Here's your ABS and your def light, the amber lights. They went on and off. Safety start. All right, now I'm going to do my governor cutout. I'm going to build pressure. I'm going to rev it and build pressure. About 1200 PSI. And my governor should cut out between what?
120 or 100 and 125.
120 to 140 PSI, okay? It's going to be like 5 minutes of awkward silence if you don't rev it. So just rev it and bring the pressure up. Every truck's going to be a little bit different. This one's, I think, about 130 PSI. Some of them are right at 120. But when you're doing your original bleed down, it's easier just to go top dead center and call it 75, okay? So if this is 50, this next slot is 60, where the orange meets the red is 60. Top dead center is 75, that's 100. This is 125, and the very next one is 135, okay? Again, the governor should cut out between 120 and 140. There. All right, there's my governor. Governor cut out at 135 PSI in tank 1, 135 PSI in tank 2. It's easier to get it in gear when it's running, so I'm going to take low gear with the clutch in to simulate wheel chocks. And if you guys decide to go out of the wheel chocks, would already be out. Okay? But for the manual guys, low gear, turn the key off. Keep your hand on the key. Go back to accessory right, position 3, ABS and def light went on and off. Okay? All right, Mr. Examiner, the next thing I'm going to do is my I'll start my brake test, and the first thing I'm going to do is my 1 minute air leak test. I'm going to set my phone for a minute. But I'm not going to start it yet. I'm going to release my brakes. Once again, I'm in a low gear so I won't roll. So I simulated wheel chocks. I release the brakes. I'm going to wait for them to stabilize. My window is down also. And I'm listening for any leak from the glad hands or anything like that as well, okay? Looks like the needles have stabilized. My brakes are in. I'm going to set my time for a minute after I give you a reading. It's still leaking. Son of a bitch. Okay. Let's just say that it stopped leaking at 100 psi, okay? 100 psi, I'm going to start my time. 100 psi in tank 1 and tank 2. I should not lose more than 4 psi in 1 minute in a combination vehicle. And you're going to put full pressure on that service pedal all the way to the ground. If you, and this actually happened, we had a girl that was testing and she got so nervous and her leg got tired it started to shake. Mm-hmm. And what happens to the pressure?
Yep.
Starts to leak, right? So if you have to use both feet, just full pressure all the way to the ground, okay?
At that point, you can restart.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, halfway in, 30 seconds. Still holding the service pedal, obviously, all the way to ground. And whatever you tell them before, like 100, let's say 105 psi is what I said, then how much can you lose?
Four
You
pounds.
can't lose any more than 4
Any more
psi.
than 4.
So I couldn't say 100 psi because I told them 105 psi,
yeah.
right? So if it does leak a little, you have a little bit of wiggle room, but you can't say 5 psi, right? All right, down to 2 seconds. All right, there's my full minute. I'm still at 105 psi in tank 1 and tank 2, so I lost
0 psi.
0 psi in both my tanks. Then you release the pedal, okay? Now there's confusion from time to time with the classes about when you actually give that reading. It's not when the valves go in. It's when your foot goes on the pedal and everything stops moving, right? Everything stabilizes. Your foot's been on the pedal for 5 or 10 seconds. You're not hearing an audible air leak from back here or from up here, and the needles stop moving completely. Then you give them the reading. And before you start your time, if you don't give them that reading, that's a fail. So I'm on 100 psi in tank 1 and tank 2. All my needles are stabilized. I'm going to start my time now. And then you also have to make sure that you told them I can't lose more than 4 psi in a combination vehicle in 1 minute, okay? So it's been a minute. I'm 105 psi in tank 1 and tank 2, so I lost 0 psi tank 1 and tank 2. Next test I'm going to do is my low air warning. I'm going to continue to fan the brakes, the service pedal, and bleed it down. And I should get an audio and visual, which is my buzzer and light, and they should come on at
55 psi or
at
above.
55 or above. If you say anything other than that, if you say about, if you say around, it's wrong and you're going to fail. It's at 55 or above. So this one you want to go a little bit slower with your pressure on the service pedal, because if you go too far, what's going to happen?
You're going to miss it.
It's going to drop below 55, and then that's a truck fail, okay? So gentle pressure. So 55 or above, right? I should get the audible and the visual, the buzzer and the light. Tank 2's moving a little bit faster than the other one. Both lights come on, but don't give a reading yet because sometimes that light will go out, okay? So give it about 8, see what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, so tank 1, I'm at 65 psi. Tank 2, I'm right at 60 psi. Now, what couldn't I say there?
50.
I couldn't say 50 because I just told them 55 or above, right?
Yeah.
So I'm at 65 psi in tank 1, 60 psi in tank 2. I'm going to go on to my next test, which is my valve test. I'm going to continue to fan the brakes, and I should have my valves, my parking brake and my trailer air supply or tractor protection valve should pop out at what?
25.
Between 20 and 45.
20 and 45. You say anything other than that, it's wrong, okay? This time you want full pressure. It's that full pressure pushing the air, rushing through the lines, right, that pops these valves. And we're looking at the valves and not the gauges. Okay, so this one was already out because of the air leak, right? So you would get them at the same time, snap, snap, and then you give me a reading on tank 1 and tank 2. I'm at 25 psi in tank 1, 25 psi in tank 2. That concludes my air brake test. And then the examiner